Man. There you go. There go the good light. The Lord. Look at God. Hey, Shalom Israel. You on live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer War holding down the class from Memphis, Tennessee. If I can get you brothers and sisters tuning in, like and share the class, let everybody know we live. We're going to go ahead and get started in a little bit, all right? We'll get started in a little bit. Damn. Damn, bro. The fuck? Tell I ain't been around no lighter. I don't even know how to work the damn thing no more. Try to light the damn incense. They can't even get the incense burnt. The incense damn lighter to light. Oh, well, we go ahead and get into it, y'all. Shalom, Israel. You live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer War coming to y'all live from Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes here in Memphis from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You brothers and sisters tuning in, if you got any family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with us here at the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Since 1969, we have been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2022, there is nothing more important for us to learn the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is here on the earth. So what we like to do with these classes is give brothers and sisters an opportunity to go into this book called the Bible so that we could gain the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Most High put here in this book for us to receive in these times to improve the quality of our lives and to get back to living the way that the Most High requires and established for us to live at the beginning. All right. You brothers and sisters who may be new to these classes and new to the ISUPK, what you're going to hear in these classes is the Bible being taught and broken down the way that it was meant to be received. What you experience in the ISUPK is going to be very different than what you experience in church, because we understand the true definition of praise and worship, and meditating on the Most High's word and applying this word to our lives. That is what the ISUPK is about. That is what we stand on. You understand? We are an organization that aims to raise up God's chosen people and return them back to the Most High's culture and way of life that is centered around the laws, statutes, and commandments that are contained in this Bible. Being in the truth is not only about knowing you're an Israelite, knowing your heritage and your history, but it's also about embracing it, which means to live by it. You understand? Being in the truth means you do what God said to do, whether you agree with it or not. Being in the truth means that you yield yourself to the will of the Most High, whether it's something that you want to do or not. Many of the things that you learn when you come into the truth can be challenging. It can seem um, opposite of what you may have thought was right or what you may have believed was the way that things should go. But if you are someone who has faith, which is a very prevalent in our history and in our culture, if you believe in the Most High, which is very what's the words I just used? Pertinent and prevalent in our culture. If you love the Most High, all of these things I'm talking about, faith, belief, love, our actions, they're not thoughts and feelings. But if you understand the true definitions of love, of belief, of faith, then you will submit yourself to the will of the Most High and do what it is that He requires you to do. And that's what tonight's class is about. Tonight's class, the title is Tempered Expectations. You understand? I titled the class Tempered Expectations because that is what we must um, add to ourselves in order to truly live a life that is bound by you obeying the Most High. Because when it comes to obeying the Most High and it comes to His will being done, it doesn't always mean that what the Lord requires or what the Most High sees fit is going to always line up with what it is that you may be expecting or what your expectations may be. And so that's what we're going to discuss tonight. Of course, if any brothers and sisters have any questions, type them in online. If any brothers and sisters in the room have any questions, all you have to do is raise your hand. All right. So with that, let me go ahead and we're gonna see if anybody has any questions. But if no one has any questions, we're gonna go into the definition of tempered and expectations, just so we can get some foundation for what the class is going to be about tonight. All right. All right. All right. I don't see no questions coming in, so we can go ahead and get into it. All right. The first definition we're going to go to is tempered. All right. This is Merriam-Webster's dictionary. The definition of tempered. Tempered is an adjective, which the definition that we want to go to is um, having a specified temper. All right. Used in combination with other words, like if somebody is short tempered or if somebody has a bad temperament, right? Let's go to the root word temper and get the definition of temper. All right. All right. All right. Temper says heat of mind or emotion, proneness to anger. Right. Second definition says calmness of mind. Third says a state of feeling or frame of mind at a particular time, usually dominated by a strong emotion. And lastly, it says a characteristic cast of mind or state of feeling. All right. So again, we all know what it means to have a temper. Some people can have a bad temper, which means what? You're quick to anger. You're quick to overreact to situations. You're quick to blow up. Some people can have a good temper, which means what? You're slow to get emotional, slow to react. Somebody who's easy going and can level headed. You understand? Well, if you couple the word temper or in the adjective form tempered with the word expectations, then you get this definition here. Let's go ahead to expectations. Well, we all know what expectations are, but let's just go ahead and get the definitions. All right. Um, expectations. It says the act or state of expecting. Another word used is anticipation, right? When you are expecting something, means you have an idea of how something is going to turn out. You have some goal in mind or some plan you're trying to execute. You have an expectation of success, or you have an expectation of a payout, right? But when you have tempered expectations, it's when your expectations are um, okay. To temper your expectations means I don't want to say to limit your expectations, right? But what I mean, what I want to, how I'm using tempered expectations is you want to make sure that your expectations aren't caught up in emotion. You understand? Tempered expectations means you can have a plan, have something that you desire, something that you would like to see happen, or something that you would like to see become reality. But you have to not be emotional when it comes to handling the outcome of certain situations or certain circumstances. You understand? When you temper your expectations, it means you're going into a situation knowing that best case scenario, man, it'll turn out like this. Worst case scenario, it might not work, but I'll be okay with that too. That's what it means to have tempered expectations. You understand? And having tempered expectations is very important when it comes to being in the truth and serving the Most High. Because when you come in the truth and you begin to serve the Most High, you accept and you acknowledge that what is primary and of most importance in your life is that the will of the Most High be done. And there's scriptures that speak concerning the Most High's will and the Most High's ways being above our ways, and His thoughts being above our thoughts, and the things that He has in store for us are things that are far above and beyond our imagination. And for anyone who has lived any amount of time on the earth, a lot of what you've experienced has been out of your control. A lot of your life, your childhood, the way you were raised, the way you grew up, the family you came from, the socioeconomic background that you were raised in, those things were out of your control, right? You've gone through many situations and circumstances in your life, and things turned out a totally different way than what you could have ever thought or imagined or planned for yourself. A lot of you today find yourself living in situations and circumstances, living in places where you never imagined that you would live, never imagined you would travel, in situations you never thought that you would find yourself in. Well, if you're today living a life of righteousness and standing with the Lord and trying to find your way to doing right and being the best person that you could be, then where do you give the credit for how your life turned out? You have no choice but to acknowledge, man, it was the Lord that did it. It was the Most High that brought me here. And when you embrace that type of life, when you accept that a lot of what you experience in life is based off of, man, the Most High did that for me, then going forward, it would be wise for you to temper your expectations, knowing and seeing that the Most High is in control of everything. All right, so let me go ahead and we're gonna get some scriptures and go ahead and get into this topic. All right. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the words of our King Yahushua and what he said to us concerning um making requests to our Father in prayer and in supplication. All right. Um hold up. All right, let's get John chapter 16, verse 23. All right. Matter of fact, hold up. Yeah, John 16 and 23. All right. These are words of our King Christ. John chapter 16, verse 23. Matter of fact, hold up. Um, bear with me. Salaki, yeah. Hold up. All right, Salaki, we're going to John 16 and 23. I'm gonna read out the big Bible here. Get back in the habit of, we get all this modern technology, man. We got all these cell phones and all this technology. I want to get back to thumbing through the pages of these Bibles, man, getting back the feel of these Bibles. All right, so this is John chapter 16, verse 23. It says, "And in that day ye shall ask me nothing. Verily, verily, I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall ask the Father in my name, he will give it to you. Hitherto have ye asked nothing in my name. Ask, and ye shall receive, your joy be full." Everybody understands. "These things have I spoken unto you in Proverbs, but the time comes when I shall no more speak to you in Proverbs, but I shall show you plainly of the Father. At that day ye shall ask in my name, and I say not unto you that I will pray the Father for you, for the Father himself loves you, because ye have loved me, and have believed that I came out from the Most High. I came forth from the Father and am come into the world again. I leave the world and go to the Father." Everybody understands. So this is a time when Christ was preparing to leave the earth. And he gathered his disciples together, and he told them that when I leave, anything that you ask the Father in my name, he's going to give it to you. Meaning what? When you pray to the Most High, when you give supplication to the Most High, if you ask your prayers and if you give supplications in Yahushua's name, then the Father will give it to you. Now, what does it mean to pray in Yahushua's name? The gospel of truth is that our King Yahushua came and walked the earth as a man, born of a man and a mother, his mother and father having sex and getting pregnant. He married, getting pregnant at a young age, and him being born into the earth to a family that wasn't rich and wasn't wealthy and wasn't highly esteemed, living in a city called Bethlehem, where it was known that the hood, the ghetto. Nothing good comes out of Nazareth, right? This brother lived the life of perfection. Meaning what? He obeyed the Most High from his youth. He did everything the Most High said to do. Was zealous about the law of the Most High and learning how to perfect, obedience and doing everything that the Most High said to do. And in the age of his manhood and the time of his maturity, he went forth into the streets to fulfill his mission, which was to teach the Most High's people to repent from their sins and to obey him and that would be the keys to heaven, the key to eternal life. You understand? And he died as a righteous man, the death of a sinner, because the people who were in charge of the nation did not want to see this righteous man establish the Most High's kingdom on the earth. Everybody understands? So the gospel is that because this righteous man who lived a perfect life, who pleased the Most High, died the death of a sinner, when he could have called on the Most High to be rescued, could have called on the Most High for his enemies to be killed, because he suffered death unjustly, his death, the reward the Most High gave for his death was that now anyone who followed him would be granted a second chance at living and doing things right. Because prior to Christ's walking the earth and living perfect and dying the death of a sinner, even though he could have resisted, no one had before pleased the Most High to the point of giving their life as a sacrifice. You understand? So the Most High rewarded Christ by establishing not only him as the King of Israel, but establishing him as the mediator between us and the Father. And so Christ was letting his disciples know, as I go to leave here, because the Most High is going to be pleased with what I've done. And so he is going to grant you the authority to make a request of him in my name. You understand? Meaning, if you ask the things that you ask of in the name of Yahweh, meaning you speak his name in your prayer, speak his name in your request, the Most High will hear you. But also, praying in the name of Christ means that you would pray the way that he prayed. You would ask of the things that he asked of. You would make requests the same way that he made requests. And that's very important to understand, because we have been taught and lied to by religion that the way that we get to the Father through Christ is by just saying his name. Salakia. Shalom, Lord Christ, sir. Come on, come, sir. Come on, come. Come on, come. Come on, come. All right. Shalom, yes, sir. Salakia. Like I said, we've been taught in Christianity that making that praying in the name of Christ meant just saying his name. When no, when the Bible talks about doing anything in someone's name, or mentions a name, the Bible's talking about a reputation. It's talking about in their likeness. You understand? So when Christ said, pray anything that you ask in my name, you shall receive it, he was not only saying, if you mention me, the Lord will hear you, but also do it the way that I did it. Say it the way that I said it. How do we know that this is true? Because Christ in Matthew the fifth, I don't say the fifth chapter, taught us how to pray. So that's what we're gonna go next. Let's go to hold on. Let's go ahead to it's Matthew 6. Matthew 6 and 9. All right. Matthew 6 and 9 down to verse 15. Yahushua taught us how to pray. All right. Salakia. Matthew 6 and 9 down to 13. We're going to read it. This is a prayer we're all familiar with. It's one that we say at the end of every class in the ISUPK. It is the prayer that covers all of what is required and needed for you to be sustained in life. And this is how our King said that we ought to pray. Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 says, "After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever." That is the prayer that Christ taught us all to pray. And what is he praying for in this prayer? This isn't a prayer about wealth. This isn't a prayer about a significant other. This isn't a prayer for a house full of kids or for a child. This isn't a prayer for the refrigerator to be stocked full of food and for the cabinets to be full of all of the snacks that you like. This prayer that Christ taught us to pray is the only type of prayer that the Most High hears. And I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to break it down as we go through. All right, Matthew 6 and 9. "After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." Who are we talking to? We talking to the Father, which is in heaven. Holy is his name. His name is special. His name is unique. We won't even say it in the prayer. "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven." The first thing we are asking of the Father is that his kingdom will come here on earth and that his will be done here on earth the same way it's done in heaven. What is his will? What he desires, what he wants, what he needs. What do we know about the Most High's will for our lives? What do we know about what he wants and what he requires and what he needs? We know that he wants our obedience. How do we know that? Because he gave us laws. Not only did he give us laws, he gave us punishments, consequences for disobeying his laws, for breaking his laws. Just like a father makes rules for his children, if you obey them, you'll be blessed and you'll be rewarded. You'll be a good child. But if you disobey, you'll be punished, you'll be disciplined, you'll be chastised so that you will do the right thing. So when you ask for the Most High's will to be, when you ask for his kingdom to come and his will to be done on earth as it is in heaven, you are asking for him to decide what you need and what you don't need. You're asking for him to decide whether things will work out for you or whether they'll go another direction. You're asking him to decide what doors will open for you and what doors will be closed. What children you'll have, what relationships will work out, what people will stay in your corner and stay by your side. You're asking for him to decide those things. Continuing on. "Give us this day our daily bread." I don't need to worry about what I'm going to eat tomorrow. Hell, I don't need to worry about what I'm going to eat next week. I only ask, Father, that you allow me to eat today because I'm hungry. And whatever it is that I am able to eat today, I'll know that it was enough because it is what you decided that I should have. Give us this day our daily bread. Verse 12. "And forgive us our debts." Why? Because we all have debts. We all have done wrong. We all have sinned. We all have fallen short of the glory of God. That is a true statement. That is a fact. None of us are perfect. None of us have been perfect. The goal is to achieve perfection, and one day we will achieve it. In the meantime, even in the day we achieve our perfection, we know that we have gotten there because of the Most High's long suffering and mercy to endure all the time that we owed debts. So it's necessary to ask that he forgive our debts. What are the conditions of our forgiveness, though? What are the conditions that our debts will be wiped away? As we forgive our debtors. Meaning what? We can only be forgiven if we forgive those who have offended us. And that's so much the spirit of the Most High in Christ, in that you are not asking to be forgiven blindly. You're not asking to be forgiven unconditionally. You're asking you're asking for your forgiveness, the Lord's judgment to you to be based on your judgment towards your brothers and sisters. You're requesting that the Most High forgive you let what you did wrong go, based on how well you're able to let what someone else did go. And if you're someone who holds grudges, who can't let things go, who can't forgive a brother or sister who's done you wrong, can't forgive someone from the past who hurt you, then you don't deserve the Most High's forgiveness for the things that you may have done wrong. For the grudges he should hold against you. This makes us accountable. It requires us to not be hypocrites. And that is the only way that you can make a request of the Most High. Prayer and a supplication. We're gonna get into it more with the rest of these scriptures. But let's keep reading. Matthew 6:13. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. What does that mean? Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. This is a prayer that we should pray every day. And in this prayer, we are establishing with the Father that temptation is all around us, that we know temptation is there. We know that we're being tempted. With what? With disobedience. Being tempted with going against him. Being tempted with being bad children. We're asking him not to lead us into that temptation. Don't allow us to fall into the temptation, but deliver us from evil. You understand? Why do we need to be delivered from the evil? Because we are in the grip of it all day long. Every day we are in the midst of the evil. The evil is all around us. The evil is trying to devour us and gobble us up, keep us prisoner, keep us locked down, and we are asking the Father to deliver us. Help me out of this evil because I cannot help myself. Help me out of this evil because without your help, I will be consumed by it. Help me out of this evil because I am powerless to fight against it without you. That is what you are acknowledging in your day prayer to the Most High. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And how are we able to request this of the Most High? For thine is the kingdom. It's your kingdom. All of you who desire to see the kingdom of heaven, you have to understand that you are desiring to see the Father's kingdom. The kingdom that we all pray about, when we think about the kingdom that we all have in mind of making it to, It's very important to understand that that is not your kingdom you waiting on. When we talk about getting in the kingdom, I hear a lot of brothers always talking about, man, I can't wait till I get in the kingdom. I'm going to do this to Edomites, and I'm going to do this to my slaves, and I'm going to do this to, I'm going to have this many wives. And I look like, brother, how do you know that's what the Most High's will going to be for you in his kingdom? How do you know that's what the Most High going to require of you in his kingdom? I pray I just get to see his kingdom, not my kingdom. I pray I get to see the kingdom. You understand? It's a very, you should be careful what you ask for, what you wish for, what you desire. But be clear that everything it is you're working for, everything it is that you are, desiring belongs to someone else. We are alive in this race and in this fight today because our king already did it. We are not fighting and competing to be the first ones to do something that hasn't been done. We are fighting and competing to show ourselves worthy to follow in his footsteps, to sit beside him as he rules in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? A kingdom that he acknowledges belongs to the Father. For thine is the kingdom and the power. The power belongs to the Most High. When our king walked the earth and he was performing miracles and he was healing the sick and raising the dead and causing the blind to see, he didn't say, I healed you. He didn't say, go be free now. My work is done. He didn't take any credit for anything that the power of the Lord did. He acknowledged that it was indeed the Most High's power. These works that you see me do are the Father's works. These aren't my works. These words that you hear me speak, these are the Father's words. These aren't my words. Christ was very clear and very careful, having been a student of the law, having been a student of the history of our people. He knew all the places where the men before him had gone wrong, all the mistakes and the missteps of the men that came before him, and he was very careful and very clear and very sure not to follow any of those footsteps, which is why in the prayer that he taught us all to pray, he acknowledges that thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory. The glory belongs to the Most High. That's why anything that gets done here in ISUPK, you'll hear brothers say, man, that was the Lord. The Most High did it. And it'll always be, man, that was the Lord. The Most High did it because he is the only one who has the power. He is the only one who has the kingdom, and he is the only one who receives the glory forever. The Most High will always, the kingdom will always be his. The power will always be his. And the glory will always be his forever. Amen. Now, in that one prayer, it encompasses every aspect of your life, every need, every desire, every want, every itch, everything that you need in life is covered in that prayer that you pray to the Father. So when Christ said all these things that you ask in my name, you shall receive, you have to make sure that what you are requesting is in line with the Spirit of Christ. And that is why when it comes to living in the truth, we all have to have tempered expectations. Now, why is that? Well, let's go ahead and get into some of these other scriptures. You know what I'm saying? This is heavy to understand if you can see where this is going. You understand? We all have ideas of what we want our lives to be. We all have ideas of what we may be capable of and things that we can accomplish. We all may have goals and aspirations and dreams that we wish to pursue and follow. But when you come into the truth, if those dreams and aspirations aren't aligned with the will of the Most High, it ain't going to happen for you. No matter how much you want it, no matter how much you dream about it, no matter how much you pray over it, if it isn't the Most High's will, then you're not going to have it. Period. And that's important because we're living in a time where there's a lot of talk about the power of the mind and the power of self-actualization, and you can make things manifest if you just dream about it and pray on it, and it's all bullshit. Excuse my language. It's witchcraft. We're living in a time of heavy witchcraft being worked on unsuspecting people who dream big, who hope for a lot of things, who desire things that aren't aligned with the will of the Most High. And it's sad because there are a lot of people who live their lives feeling unfulfilled, feeling like a failure, feeling like they aren't successful because the Lord's will wasn't for them to have some life that they thought they deserved. The life that you think that you want, that you think you deserve, may be a life that'll take you away from the Most High. Maybe a life that'll take you away from serving Him. So you can't have that life, because having that life would conflict with living according to the Most High's laws. If you're anything like me, like I was when I was growing up, hell, I wanted to live the baller life. I wanted to have the 6-figure bank account and drive the nice car and, be able to go on a vacation when I wanted to go on a vacation and be able to, go rub elbows with all of the famous high class people at the top and be able to, be recognized as that guy and be recognized as be the guy that people looked up to and wanted to be, all the men wanted to be and all the women wanted to be with. But then I became a man and realized that if I had that, why would I need God? If I was that nigga that I always thought I was going to be, then what reason would I have to serve the Most High? Hell, I got everything I need already. I got a taste of that life a little bit when I was young, and then I, in the midst of it, realized this shit ain't where it's at. Excuse my language. This life I'm living, man, is miserable. I don't trust none of the people that's around me. None of these women, they for sure don't either. Bitch don't even know me. So for sure, there's no way she could be interested in me beyond my money or the nice things that she think I got. A lot of these niggas that's around me, I know a lot of them are jealous. I know some of them waiting for a chance to rob me. If I wasn't around killers, these niggas would try to take a shot at me. I get to talking and get to expressing myself and talking about, the things that I'm reading, I'm studying. Niggas look at me like I'm crazy. They tell me that I'm wild, and all the while, really, I'm trying to find myself. I'm sad and depressed and feeling lost, even though I have all these nice things and all the popping places and around all the popping people. I'm miserable. And when I came into the truth, I prayed this prayer and I asked the Lord to be with me and to help me find my way and to show me what it is that He meant for me to do with my life, because getting money and being that nigga wasn't it. And in praying that prayer, the Most High answered it and took everything that I had, took it all from me. Took the job, took the money, took the friends, took the women, took the flashy lifestyle, took it all, and I had nothing. Repoed my car, no money in the bank account. All I had was the UPK. In class every day, wearing all black, asking questions and getting answers and taking notes, showing up for, clean the school after class during the week, show up for camp on Friday, spend all day downtown in DC speaking and yelling at the top of my lungs and out there in the cold and the heat, showing up the next morning, Saturday morning for Sabbath service, and then going to Baltimore all day in the 12 of us in a van going to Baltimore, in Baltimore all day. After camp, can't eat. We go to McDonald's. I don't even eat McDonald's, but we eat McDonald's. I got a little bit of extra money. I want to get a Big Mac. Niggas tell me I got to eat a double cheeseburger like everybody else. And it was the best time of my life because finally I had found a place where everything that we had and everything that we were doing, we had it and we were doing it because it was the Most High's will. And from that point on, my expectations for the rest of my life were tempered. I remember being young in the truth and saying, man, hell, I'll stay in my mother's basement till I'm 50 years old if that's what I have to do to serve the Lord. I can remember being afraid of a slavery, afraid of going back to a job and making money because what if I F it up again? What if I go back to work and I get that money and I know that itch to be that nigga still there. That desire to want to be fresh and be fly, it's still there. Man, I don't want to go to the club unless I'm nigga on stage popping the bottles and I in the VIP. I don't even want to be there if I can't be that guy. And knowing that itch was there, that temptation was there, I lived many years of my life in the truth, afraid of getting a goddamn job. Because what the hell am I going to do if I got any money out? And I'm thankful for those times that I went through because it taught me. And listen, I went through all of that thinking I would never have nothing again because why should I? I don't deserve to have nothing because every time I got something, I F it up. I remember I came into the truth, man. My license was expired. I couldn't drive. And I said, fuck, I'm 24 years old. And in my mind, I'll never drive again because I'm in the truth. And UPK, you can't drive without no license. Not in DC. DC, you get pulled over every light you stop at, you're getting pulled over for one reason or another. Baltimore, Philly, and New York, you can't drive with no license. So in my mind, I'll just never drive again because I owe DC, $8,000? So no way I'll ever make $8,000. I don't have a job. I just go to school every day and go to camp on the weekends. I'll never have $8,000 to pay for a license. Oh, well, F it. And I tempered my expectations for the rest of my life. Even though it felt inside that, damn, you just going to be a bum-ass nigga all your life, bro. You just going to live in your mother's basement and just not have nothing. But damn, all I could see at that time was serving the Lord. But in that time of serving the Lord, like I said, man, whatever I get out of life, it's going to be because the Most High decides for me to have it. And guess what? At that time, the Most High decided for me to get a wife. And I got a wife, and the Most High decided that I needed to leave my mother's basement. So I went and I moved with my wife. I lived in Philadelphia and was helping out at the school every day. And this wife that the Lord gave me made sure that I didn't have to work a slavery. I didn't need no food and no clothes on my. I had clothes, a roof over my head, and food. And the Lord took care of me, and it was a beautiful thing. But then the Lord saw fit for me to have something else. So he sent me to Memphis to come find brothers and sisters down here to build it up and to raise up a city. And so shit, I moved to Memphis. I didn't have nothing when I came here. I had a car. I had a couple little jobs lined up, slaveries I was working. And I came to Memphis to build a city up. And I didn't know what all came with it. And even though I knew it was something major that the Lord was having me to do, my expectations were still tempered. Because just because you show up in a city and you're a captain of 10,000, it don't mean that people gonna, what, nigga, they don't know you. Who the fuck is you? You just some nigga from out of town. You don't just come into a city and would you announce yourself and people going, oh my God, Captain guy we don't know is here. And you're going to have a class full of people and they're just going to run to come learn the truth from you and come serve the Lord. That's not how it worked. I knew it was going to be hard work. And I knew it wasn't going to be nothing that happened overnight because that's not how things work with the Lord. But because of my tempered expectations, the Lord has seen me through a whole lot since I came down here to Memphis. Man, we got a school in Memphis. We got a building that's ready to receive brothers and sisters to come serve the Lord. But it ain't because of nothing that I did. It ain't because of no skill or greatness that I have. It's because of the Most High. And that's what's, damn. Salakia, y'all. The point I'm making is that you have to put the Lord first and accept what comes with you serving him. Because this shit ain't easy. And your life don't change overnight. And nothing that's worth having in life comes without you fighting. And fighting to serve the Lord, nigga, is the greatest fight you ever gonna have in your life. So when you go to get you a wife, get that wife knowing that this bitch ain't gonna be what you think she gonna be. Nigga, you think it's gonna be perfect and wonderful and everything gonna be happy all the time, man. Hell nah, nigga, that's not life. Don't come into the truth and think this business that you're trying to start is just gonna take off from the day you started and it's gonna be wonderful and everybody gonna want to support your business and you're gonna be rich and be a millionaire. Nigga, that's not how this shit work. Don't think that just because you got a skill or an ability that the world around you is going to change because you're in the truth, because it's not. And when the things that you imagine are going to happen for you don't happen that way, nigga, what you gonna quit? You gonna complain? You gonna whine? You gonna blame the Most High? You gonna turn your back on the Most High because some shit you thought was gonna happen wasn't in His will, man? Come on, bro. I don't know where you get it from, because it ain't in the Bible. It ain't being taught in here. We ain't teaching nobody that you come into the truth and everything is magically going to be wonderful in your life. Nah. I never heard that class or got that breakdown. Nobody told you that you was going to come in here and the woman you was going to be married was going to be perfect. Where the hell you get that from? You sister, you come in the truth. You think the nigga you get going to be perfect and it's going to be wonderful and amazing all the time, bitch? Is you out your mind? What's the matter with you? Don't you know that being in the truth means we the people that the society didn't accept? When Christ came, man, I'm gonna get the scriptures. Salaki, I'm doing too much talking. I'm gonna go and get the scriptures. Christ came and said he didn't come for those who were whole and those who had it all together. He came for the sick and the maimed and the blind and those who didn't have nowhere else to turn. That's us. We're the people he talked about. We're the ones who were maimed and who were hurt and who were broken. We're the people that couldn't last in church, couldn't make it in the white man's world. That's why we came here. Why would you come in the truth if you had everything good in your life? Why would you come into the truth if everything was working out for you? The scriptures say the Most High is close to those of a broken heart and a contrite spirit. You can't come serve the Lord. You don't wake up one day and just say, yeah, man, I'm going to go serve God. You don't wake up one day and say, yeah, I'm going to do what the Lord said to do. Nigga, you turn to God in your darkest moments. So if you know that, why would you think that you deserve anything more than what he decides for you to have? You better accept what he has for you and be thankful for what he got for you, because he don't owe you nothing. None of us is owed nothing. So anything that you get, you better be appreciative and thankful for it. And you better work hard to keep it. Because that little bit that you do get, that little bit that you hate so goddamn much, he'll take that from you. You got a woman that's make you miserable, nigga, you better be thankful, because she'll be gone, you'll have no woman. You sisters got a man that bothers you and you wish he would do this, and bitch, you better be thankful you got a nigga that comes see you once every 3 months, bitch. You could have no nigga. You don't like the apartment you living in? Oh man, the water, those faucet leaky and the goddamn ceiling leaks sometime. Then you better be thankful for that leaky ceiling. You could be in the shelter outside in the goddamn cold somewhere. Whatever you got, be thankful for it, man. And being in the truth and serving the Lord, situations is temporary, man. I ain't never been in no jam up that the Lord ain't see me out of. I ain't never been down bad in no situation where trusting in the Lord ain't get me out of it. I mean, quickly. Yeah, put your trust and your faith in the Most High and be thankful for what it is that He gives you, knowing that you don't deserve a damn thing. And that's important because people in the world don't have that. People in the world believe that shit's supposed to just fall out the sky for them. That because they have an idea and a thought that the shit's supposed to manifest into something great. Then when it don't happen, they want to blame everybody else and don't take no responsibility. Oh, they hating on me. Or ain't nobody want to support my business. Ain't nobody. Maybe you got a shitty business and you're a bad business person. Maybe you make appointments with people and don't show up on time. Or maybe the products and the goods you serving the people are shit. Ain't nobody want to buy your t-shirts because your t-shirt quality is garbage. Maybe nobody want to, they don't want to buy your food. Maybe your food is nasty. But you ever thought that maybe your food ain't that flavorful? That's why your plates wasn't selling. Maybe, nigga, you went to go do an electrical job and you didn't do a good job. That's why they didn't call you back. Listen, I came to the truth. I was an electrician. I wanted to do some work at General Muhammad House one time. I did the work at General Muhammad House, and General Muhammad paid me. And General Muhammad never called me back for another job ever again. And I understood why. Because I didn't do a good job. I didn't do a good job. But I wasn't, when the other brothers came in the truth that had that skill and General and different brothers had them to do work for them, I wasn't like, I come in nobody because I knew my shit wasn't professional, nigga. But it is what it is. Like, hey, shit. Maybe that's why I stopped being an electrician in the first place. Shit, long as the lights cut on, nigga, what you mad about? You mad because the damn little pipe is crooked, nigga? All right, my bad. Salakia. You know what I'm saying? But I never was, why you ain't never called me? Nigga, I know why. Because you know what you did. You know that work wasn't professional, nigga. That wasn't no union quality work. It is what it is. Oh, well. You gotta be real with yourself and honest, man, and just accepting of the will of the Most High. You understand? So let me go ahead and get back into these scriptures, man. Let me get this. Hold on. Give me Romans chapter 12, verse 2. All right. Well, let me start at Romans 12 and 1. All right. First of all, let me get back. Matthew 6, 9 through 13. All right. Then Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. All right. Get Romans 12. All right, this is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Verse 1 says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. Meaning what? You have to obey the Most High. Give your body over to the Most High. Give yourself over to the Most High. Present yourself as a living sacrifice. Holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Meaning what? It's the least you could do. It's to present yourself a living sacrifice, holy, meaning separate from the world, and which is your reasonable service. Verse 2, and be not conformed to the world. Meaning what? Don't be what the world wants you to be. Don't think the way the world wants you to think. Don't dream the way the world wants you to dream. Don't live your life chasing after the things the people in the world chase after, man. I never, like I said, I came into the truth. I was a young man, but I never, even in the, even in the world, growing up, I grew up in a nice family, man. I was, you can say I was middle class, but I grew up understanding that everything we had was by the grace of the Most High, man. It was the Lord's mercy we had what we had. I grew up with cats that was poor. I grew up, I didn't have my father wasn't around, but I had my grandfather who was a hard working, grinding cat. I had my moms who worked and grinded. All my aunts worked hard and grinded. All my uncles, they went and did their thing, had their little jobs and hustles. But I grew up in a family where we just had what we had. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had a hustler's mentality. We made money and spent money the way hustlers did. I didn't know nobody who was on what's the niggas that get paid salary. I didn't know nobody had no salary. I didn't know nobody that was, getting no check once a month and then had to budget day rent and budget day money. I didn't know nobody who had a, 750 credit score. I didn't know nobody who had life insurance policies and investments and owned property. Nah, I didn't. We was renting. So growing up, that's what I thought life was. That's all I. Yeah, shit. I dreamed about my mother house. I'm talking about my mother house one day. So she ain't got to work no more. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about, I might give me a nice little apartment or something, condo, 2-3 bedroom. Give me a woman, have some kids. But I never had no big lofty dreams or aspirations to drive a Benz and live in a nice fancy gated house. That just shit wasn't reality to me. It didn't mean anything to me. But there's a lot of people who that means something to. It matters to them to have that type of life. And that's the world, man. The world wants you to be pressured to feel like what you have is not enough. The world wants you to be pressured into having to overexert yourself, slaving for some devil so that you can, what, nigga? Buy some overpriced gay Italian clothes to just make other niggas feel like they have less than because they can't afford the gay Italian clothes. The whole materialistic life the whole materialistic culture that we've been given, it's a sucker's culture, man. It's slave culture. Goddamn Nikes cost the same amount of money to make as the fucking Skechers. Nigga, why are you paying $200 for some Nikes when the Skechers is $35? It don't make sense. The Balenciaga shoes that they were selling for $495, it's the same shoe as the Skechers. That's $35. I remember the first time I seen a nigga with some, like, in real life, and just somebody I was cool to talk to him, man. Come on, bro. Be honest with me, man. Talk to me, man. Why you drop on that bread on them ugly ass shoes? Oh man, see, man, y'all niggas tripping, man. I know they might look big and goofy. I mean, they might look big and it might look funny, man, but these are the most comfortable pair of shoes I ever wore in my life, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. I feel like I'm walking on clouds. And that's exactly what I thought the first time I wore some Skechers. Now it took me, I ain't gonna lie, I came out the world, I was 23 years old. I went from Jordans to boots, right? I went like 5-6 years just wearing boots, straight black, big boots, right? That's all I wore was boots. Boots here, boots there, boots everywhere. Cause that's what it was in UPK. Back then, nigga, you wore boots everywhere. High holiday boots, outdoor function boots, picnic boots, barbecue boots, day at the beach boots. That's what it was. We all wore boots till one brother got brave and wore some Nikes one time or some Jordans one time, and it was like, okay, man, he fresh with the fringes and they got he got the J's on though. Then it was like, yeah, y'all didn't know y'all could have wore sneakers. No, we didn't know. Everybody was trying to be impressing y'all with the boots. We didn't know we could wear sneakers to public functions. But then, so now it's a little bit more free. It's a little bit more, brothers can be themselves a little bit more. But when I got out of the boots, I'm not buying no $200 pair of shoes. First of all, I ain't got it. Second of all, even if I had it, these are the same Jordans I had in the 8th grade. I'm not buying the 8th grade Jordans for $2. That's ridiculous. Y'all niggas is stupid. I had them already. Like when I was a kid, why would I pay for them again? So I couldn't go back to Jordans. And I remember one day, my rib at the time, she a nurse, and she was like, she wore Skechers. We shopping for her to get her little work shoes. And I'm looking at some of the Jones in there, and I'm like, man, these Jones, I look at them, they $35. They nice little blue Jones, blue with the gray bottoms. You couldn't even tell they were Skechers. I'm like, man, let me get these. Got me a little pair of Skechers. Man, I put them Jones on, man, changed my life. Changed my life. What is this on my foot? Feel like pillows. The most amazing feeling I ever felt in my life. No Jordans ever felt like that. No Nikes, no LeBrons ever felt like this. Shoe felt amazing. Why is these Skechers feel so good and nobody talk about it? Because niggas been taught that wearing Skechers is not cool. Them daddy shoes. Those is right now. There's a whole meme on the internet about them them Nike Monarchs. The Nike Monarchs have forever been the old guy, not cool, out of the loop shoes. The daddy shoes, the uncle shoes. Them Nike Monarchs, them white Nikes with that blue check y'all been seeing on the internet, they making fun of them. Them Jones been about $50 since I was my whole life. Even before the meme, they was $50. You go to the Nike store, Nike Monarchs, $50. Now they made it a meme. The price is shot up to $175. What changed besides they was on the nothing changed at all? They just happened to be on the internet. Black people was talking about them. Now the price didn't shot up. But the cost of making Monarchs didn't change. The leather, the laces, the blue checks, the kid in the sweatshop, none of their prices changed. Only thing that's changed is that now niggas like it. Niggas is talking about it now. We got to raise the price. And we so stupid and so lost and so in darkness that we think because it costs more, we got to have it. Because having it and it costs more means I could look at someone who didn't afford it and say, yeah, I'm better than you. That is absolutely insane. And that is a sucker, slave, trick mentality. And it goes completely against what the Most High wants for us. Get your mind out of what you thought success was in the world. Get your mind out of what you thought making it was when you were in the world. Get your mind out of what you thought, mattered when you were in the world, and be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. You understand? You can only prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God if ye be transformed by the renewing of your mind. If you be not conformed to the world. And that is what coming into the truth is all about. Coming into the truth is about turning your back on the world. Being opposite of what you were in the world. And that's not something that happens overnight. But along with you rejecting the world and renewing your mind, it means everything inside of your brain has to change. Your thoughts have to change. Your feelings have to change. Your dreams and aspirations, they have to change. Your expectations have to change. You should learn to temper your expectations and condition yourself to acknowledge and accept what the Most High's will is for you. And if you don't know how to do that, if you are not willing to do that, if you're not able to do that, don't worry, because the truth will do it for you. Being in the truth is the perfect place for you to learn everything you need to learn to serve the Most High. That's why the ISUPK is such a righteous place. I don't give a damn what happened to you in here. Good, bad, evil, indifferent. It's going to help you. It's going to make you a better person. I came into the truth, man. I've seen a whole lot since I've been in the truth. I done seen some. I done, been through some things since I've been in the truth. Let me just say it like that. But the Most High always work it out. And I've never seen things work out more perfectly for people than before I came into the truth. Whether it's for good or for bad, I've seen some situations work out for the worse for people since I've been in the truth. But I knew that was the Lord's will. I've seen some situations from beginning to end. I've seen how things was going before this situation came up. I saw how things changed once the situation arose. And then when it blew up, I saw it blow up. And I saw after the blow up, and the dust settled, I saw what happened after that. And I could look back from the very beginning throughout the whole thing and say, man, that was the Lord that did that. That was absolutely insane. I can't believe any of that shit took place. But the Lord did. The Lord did it. Because who else could have done it? Nobody else could have thought of a perfect way to deal with this demon, deal with this insubordination, deal with this, pride than the Lord. Like the Lord did it so perfectly that no one would even be able to acknowledge anything happened without saying, yeah, man, the Lord did that. So you're going to go through it too. You're going to encounter a situation and a circumstance that may be painful, may be difficult, may be hard for you to stomach and hard for you to deal with. Nigga, you better, man up. You better take the counsel. You better accept whatever judgment is handed down and do your goddamn job. And don't you bitch and whine about it. Because what the hell you bitching and whining about? When everything in your life, you know how it should be, but it ain't that way. Whatever you got to endure in here, you better endure it, man. Go through it. Be a man. Man up. Prove yourself to the Most High. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for these men. Do it for the Lord, because He the one putting you through it. You mean you think the Lord couldn't have brought you into the truth under different circumstances? You think the Lord couldn't have brought you into the truth, at a different time, under different men? And you know what I'm saying? Like the Lord, everything He did was perfect the way He did it. So deal with it, nigga. What you running for? What you think? You gonna go away for 6 months and come back and it's gonna be a different situation? No, nigga, it's gonna be worse. So deal with it now. Maybe if you endure now, the Lord might could show you something. He might could make a man out of you. He might could, make you tougher, make you stronger, make you better. But if you run from it, then you're not accepting the will of the Most High. You're running from it. You telling the Most High that He don't know what's best for you. That what He doing ain't right. This thing He got me going through. This ain't the Lord. So what you gonna do? Where you gonna go? Stop playing yourself. Accept the Most High's will being done. I can show you our King did it. Go right here. Let me get you hold up. Give me Matthew chapter 26, verse 42. Let me get Matthew chapter 26. Actually, we're going to go to verse 37, all right? Matthew 26 and 37. All right. Matthew chapter 26, verse 37 says, and He took with Him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. What does it mean to be sorrowful and very heavy? He was emotional. He was sad. He was full of sorrow and very heavy, meaning it was weighing on him. You could tell that he was carrying a lot on him, and he was very, very sad because of it. Today we would say he was depressed. He was going through it. Verse 38, then saith He unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. Understand this, when our King was at his lowest point, when He was going through His most difficult struggle, He didn't keep it to Himself. He didn't man up through it. He went to His brothers, Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, His closest 3 brothers out of 12 men that rolled with Him. He said, man, I'm going through it, y'all. Man, I feel like I'm gonna die. I'm in pain, man. I'm hurting. Can y'all pray with me? You going through your tough times, brother. You better pick up that phone and call and get some counsel. You sisters out there, you going through it. You sad and you depressed and you don't know how you're going to see your way out of the situation. You better pick up that phone and call and get some counsel. It is a demon that is telling you that you should man up and go through it. You don't need nobody. You a man. You can get through it. That's Satan. I don't know where you get it from because it ain't taught in here. I ain't never been on class breakdown where a nigga told you to man up and get through it and be tough. That ain't the Bible. That ain't the Lord's will. Maybe you're in that pain because the Lord knows the only way you're going to get out of it is if you pick up the phone. Maybe it's hard to pick up the phone because Satan is fighting you for your soul. Satan knows if you pick that phone up, he's going to lose you. He don't want to lose you. He's been eating good off you for how many years? He done ran you into the ground how many times? Satan don't want to let you go. So he going to tell you, nigga, you better pick up that phone. They're going to laugh at you. You pick up that phone and tell them what you done did. They're going to kick you out the school. Nigga, we're going to kick you out the school if you don't pick up that phone and tell us what you did. The best thing you could do is pick up that phone and tell us what you did or what you about to do. Don't wait till after you do it. Then what? You think it's going to be better after? Nigga, you're going to be worse. Because now Satan going to be clowning you. Look at you, nigga. You ain't shit. You supposed to be what? You going to be one of them? You a priest and an officer, nigga. You ain't shit. You was a drug addict. You an alcoholic. You a whoremonger. Don't let it get on you like that. Then this is gonna be twice as hard to pick up the phone. You better pick up that phone and make that phone call. Tell somebody what you're going through. Tell somebody you hurting and you in pain. That's what we're here for. So we can help you get through it. So we can help you fight through the pain. Help you overcome the whatever trauma you've experienced, whatever's driven you to feel like this is how you got to live your life. You can get help. But not if you thinking you're going to toughen your way through it. That's not what our king did. He went and got some brothers who was close to him and said, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Wait here with me and watch over me. Verse 39. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed. Again, pray in Christ's name. Here was his prayer. In this time of exceeding sorrowfulness and in this time of feeling like he was going to die or that he would rather die. My Father, oh my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will. You hear how that prayer? You hear that prayer? Oh, Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Not as I will, but as you will. Now, this is a brother who was exceedingly sorrowful, who's feeling like he'd rather die. He's asking the Lord to take the pain away, to make me not have to suffer what I'm about to have to suffer. Not because I'm asked, if it's possible, please, I don't want to go through it. If it's possible, take this away from me. But not because I want it, but if it's what you want. That's how your prayers should sound. Lord, I would like to get out of this neighborhood. I'd like to be able to provide more for my family. If it's possible, Father, make a way for me to be able to do that so that we could be in a better situation. Not because I want it, Father, but because if it's your will. Some of you praying for stuff that you're praying for things that you're unrighteous. You don't deserve it, nor should you have it. And then you wonder why the things that you do receive are not what you prayed for. What you wasn't praying for something that the Lord would bless you with. Why would he bless you with that? When it'll drive you from him. You get exactly what you deserve in the truth. Because what you deserve is based off of how aligned with the will of the Most High your life is. Everything that you get out of life is exactly what you deserve. That goes for everybody. You look at your life, you look at what you got, you look at what you don't have, and say, this is the Most High's will for me. I've got what I've got. The Most High's will is always going to be his will, regardless of how much you fight against it. You could be determined to do your own thing. No sweat. The Most High got something for that. his will going to be done anyway, whether you like it or not. So why kick against the pricks is what Christ told Paul when Paul, before he became Paul, when he was Saul and he was blinded on the road to Damascus, he heard a voice from heaven that said, why are you kicking against the pricks? Meaning, why are you fighting a losing battle? Why are you fighting against God? It's like your arm's too short to box with God. Kicking against the pricks is like kicking a brick wall or kicking a fortification. What are you doing? You're not doing no damage. You're not causing any harm but to yourself. But that's what trying to avoid the will of the Most High is like. And our king understood that, which is why he prayed the way he prayed. I'm going to keep reading. Matthew 26:40. And he cometh unto the disciples and found them asleep, and saith unto Peter, what, could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Now his brother was exceeding sorrowful unto death. He went and prayed and came back an hour later. Them brothers was asleep. He said, damn, man, y'all couldn't wait with me 1 hour? Verse 41, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. 42, he went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. If I have to go through with this, if I have to suffer what it is that you're putting before me, let your will be done. That's a brother who understands the Most High. That's a brother who speaks his language. Whatever you see fit, Father, let me get through it. Just give me the strength to get through it. Help me to, see what it is you need me to see, to understand what I need to understand. Just give me the strength to get through it. I don't want to do it. I'd rather you make so I don't have to do this thing. But if I have to do it, give me the strength. You're going to have moments like that in the truth. You're going to have moments like that in your life, period. But in the truth, you understand things differently. You living in the truth, man. You see things in the world. You see things that happen in your life a lot differently than you did in the world, or at least you should. If you're not, then you need to get more counsel. You need to be, more in tune with what's happening in your life. Because a lot of the things that you're going through and that you're experiencing, the Lord is doing it. You may not know the Lord is doing it because you don't know how the Lord operates. But when you begin to understand how the Lord operates and you begin to understand how he moves things in your life, you'll begin to look at certain situations and certain circumstances, and you'll be able to say, man, that's the Lord moving, man. That's crazy. And there's certain things you'll know that you have to endure and you have to go through, and you may not want to go through it. But your prayer to the Most High will be, give me the strength, Father, to endure, to get through it. All right? Matthew 26 and 43. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Everybody understand? So our king, when this time came for him to endure his trial and to go through his trying time, he prayed and asked the Most High, take this cup from me, if it be your will. And we understand by what our king went through that it was not the Most High's will to take that cup from him, but it was the Most High's will that he drank it. And he drank it. And because of that, we are able today to return to the Most High to prepare for our day, for our cup, so that we can drink it. Everybody understands. Let me drop that. Let me see. Let me see. Hold up. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 22. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 22. All right. Ecclesiastes 3 and 22 says, "Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him?" Everybody understands. There is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works. Meaning what? You should be thankful. You should rejoice in what you have. Rejoice in the decisions that you've made that have led you to this point, and rejoice in everything that the Lord has saw fit for you to experience and to go through and to have, and to have your needs being met. Because who knows what's coming tomorrow? I live every day of my life praying that if today is the day that I leave, I can look back and say, man, the Lord was with me, man. I lived a full life. And I mean that, man. I pray I live long enough to see all my enemies die. I pray I live long enough to see all of my brothers and sisters who serve the Lord live forever. But if something was to happen to me and the Lord saw fit for me to, no longer have to fight, and I gain my seat into the kingdom in the next life, I pray that as I go, I'm able to say, man, the Lord was with me. I pray that the day that I leave here, I could say it was a good life. If I left right now, man, the Lord was with me. It was a good life. And I pray that every day is a day that I see that I feel that. Nobody knows when that day is going to be. But I want every day to be a day that I know that if I left here, the Lord is pleased with me and it was a good life. And living that way, what can let you down? What can get in your way? And listen, it ain't, it don't make it an easy life, but it makes it a life worth living. I mean, listen, if it was sunny every day, would you appreciate the sunshine? If the winter never came around and it got cold and it was freezing, would you appreciate the warmth of the summer? You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind going through a storm. I don't mind facing some difficulty. I don't mind, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of depression, a little bit of, doubt. Shit, that's part of life. But when those times come, I fight through it. I go through whatever I go through what y'all go through. I fight depression. I fight self-doubt, fight sadness. I fight reflecting on my life and what didn't I do the right thing? What if I would have did this, or what if I would have did that? But I quickly throw it off, remove those thoughts, because man, I'm exactly where the Lord wanted me to be. Like, where else would I be? Where else would I want to be besides exactly where the Most High put me? I mean, I wouldn't want nothing else. There wasn't nothing else for me to have, nothing else for me to get. Whatever I got out of that world was what I needed to get, and that was it. It's over with now, and I could never go back. Man, I keep That's why y'all see on my Facebook page, I got my slave name on my Facebook page. I know a lot of people might look at me funny, might think, why he got the slave name on there? Everybody else got their Hebrew name on there. Why he got a slave name on there? First of all, I had about 3 Facebook pages, and all the ones with the Hebrew name, Esau took them down. So I can't have a Facebook page with my Hebrew name because apparently my Hebrew name ain't acceptable to the Facebook world. That's first of all. Second of all, my slave name is on my page because that's the page I had from when Facebook first began. And when I came into the truth, I told myself I changed the name on that page. That page wasn't always my slave name. That page used to have my Hebrew name. Esau made me change it, put my slave name on there. But I don't mind it because a lot of people from the world are still on that page. All the cats from high school, and I was only 5 years out of high school when I came into the truth. So all the cats that went off to college, by the time they coming home and they got their degrees, I was wrapping up my apprenticeship. We all was at the same place in life when I came into the truth. They still see me now. And it's funny how when I came into the truth, a lot of people, oh man, he crazy, man. He hate white people. I remember arguing with devils on my page I went to school with about being in the truth and about, what are you, a black Jew? I remember them early days in the truth. I just wanted to tell everybody, cuss all the white people out and tell everybody how they was evil and they was gonna die if they ain't changed their life. Well, a lot of them people still on my page. And now the earth is talking about the Jews are black. And Kyrie Irving is coming out and saying this, and Kanye West is saying that, and Captain Tazan is viewing Kanye, and like now they see a nigga wasn't crazy. Now they see a nigga might have been on to something. And they still on that page to see I changed. I definitely switched up, definitely became someone new. But I never stopped being me. And that, for me, is unique. It's something the Lord allowed me to be able to do. Because not everybody does it. Mostly everybody, you have to lose everything of who you were in the world to be who you need to be in the truth. Some people, some parts of what you were in the world wasn't so horrible and evil. And it was the Lord that made you to be that way, so you can hold on to that coming into the truth. You know what I'm saying? Having that slave name on my Facebook page is so that everybody who saw me in the world can still see me today and say, nah, man, he always was like that. He always used to talk like that, man. He always was real passionate about his people and always was, trying to get us to be on some brotherly stuff, bringing brothers together. You know what I'm saying? And I thank the Most High for that. But everybody should, I don't regret any of that. I came into the truth. I wasn't running from nothing in the world. I wasn't hiding from anything that I'd done or who I was. Like I said, the type of cat I was in the world, that's who I am in the truth. And so when I came into the truth, I wanted to share that with the people that was in the world. And because of that slave name on that Facebook page, I've been able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no regrets from my old life. You can go on that Facebook and see pictures from before I was in the truth. I left it up there just so everybody know, yeah, that's me. That's still me. Same cat. Just I became a man. Became the man the Lord called me to be. And this is the fruits of that. But a man should rejoice in his works and his decisions. Shouldn't live a life full of regret and wishing woulda, coulda, shoulda. Especially not after you come into the truth. You come into the truth, your life should be, and that was the Lord's will. And hey, it is what it is. If you someone who is not sure what the Most High's will for you is, if you're someone who's not sure if the things that you are struggling with or the difficulties you're facing in life is indeed the Most High's will, call and get some counsel. You could be in some situations and circumstances that aren't the Most High's will. You made it His will when you decided that you was going to do it. But then there's some things that could be avoided. Some situations that you don't have to endure. But you have to be willing to allow the Lord's will to be done. Either way. But going forward, pray and ask the Most High to help you to temper your expectations, to help you to be able to accept what it is that He shows you is meant for you or not meant for you in this life. And ask Him to allow you to be thankful and appreciative for the things that He sees fit for you to have. Because a life worrying about things that you don't have rather than appreciating the things that you do, it's not really a life worth living. And with that, we the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2022, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to find out the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is here on the earth. You brothers and sisters tuning in, if you got family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with us here at the ISUPK. All right. We're going to go through the security announcements, rules for new brothers and sisters. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They have to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the heads to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from their heads to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21 through Malachi. Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, chapter 8, verse 3, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to the teacher. Priest fund is a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory, whatever amount you would like. This Saturday, which is going to be December the 18th, is the beginning of the Feast of Hanukkah. December the 18th, for a space of 8 days, we celebrate the Feast of Hanukkah. We'll be here at the school in Memphis Saturday, sundown. Brothers and sisters, y'all be here. I'm coordinating with all the brothers and the sisters now for the food. I believe the sisters have gotten together and decided that we're gonna all be having. Well, I'm gonna wait, but we're gonna be eating good here this Saturday. So if you're tuning in to classes, if you ain't been to the Memphis school before, you should show up here at the Memphis school. The address is 3000 Walnut Grove Road in Midtown Memphis, Tennessee. 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215, Memphis, Tennessee 38111. The call-in number to the school is 901. Hold up, it's a lock here. What's that calling number? 901-249. Hold on. I believe that's what it is. Hold on now. Yeah, 901-249-0085. That's the calling number to the school. 901-249-0085. Y'all be here, man. Saturday sundown. We're gonna be eating good. We're gonna be celebrating. Gonna be remembering the memorial of the rededication of the temple. We're going to get into the history of what it means and why we celebrate it and why and how it can empower us in the times we're living in now to go forward and serve the Most High and be who He called us to be. With that, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Shalom, Israel.